All right, everyone. I think we have a couple of members joining, but I want to go forward and get started with today's topic. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully we can go through this presentation. And if you have any other questions, just feel free to reach out to me here. You can add your questions in the comments, and I'll try to answer as many as we can. All right, let's go ahead and share the screen. Hopefully you're able to see it there. Perfect. So today we're going to go through this client onboarding process that we can hopefully automate together. The idea is to create a seamless process for all your wedding planning or any wedding service that you offer, with your communication. Internal communication is also the communication with your clients, not only for the onboarding process, but also offboarding them. Let's jump in and I'll show you a little more about this. So to create the ultimate onboarding journey, you need to kind of put yourself in your customer's shoes and think what you would be expecting from your wedding planner or from your wedding professional, and then kind of reverse engineering. Since we already did it for a couple of times for the wedding services and also for the other trainings that we have for the Wedding Academy, I want to show you the journey that you would have to follow to create this client onboarding experience. Since we're going to teach you about the workflow, but I would say that the workflow itself, it's the last step of the building process. You'll have to first start with building those little steps that will be included in that workflow, and then so we can attach them kind of at the end of the whole process. These processes or these little steps would be creating your proposal, scheduler templates or booking templates in case that you want to have them book a time with you. Any contracts or questionnaires that you'll have for your couples, and then creating all these template emails that you will be sending over and over again. So we created once and then we just attach them to the workflow, and you don't have to write them manually every time you want to onboard one of your clients. All right, so after we create all these little steps, including the proposal, we'll be crafting the workflow itself with all these kind of emails, maybe tags that you want to add to these couples' statuses, or anything that will make your customer journey a perfect one for your business and your brand. There's not actually a perfect formula. So this will be a template that you will be able to customize to your business needs. And since usually these wedding businesses are not a one-time, one-woman show or one-man show, and we have different team members within the whole business, we want to make sure that our internal communications are also flawless. And we are incorporated some of these steps, making this perfect onboarding system not only for your client, but also for your team. So you don't have to manually do all the onboarding for your team in case you have any other wedding planners or you have any contractors that you contact every time that you have a new wedding. And last but not least, as you probably know, the onboarding journey is when your lead is ready to be your client, but you also have to manage this journey from this person that doesn't really know you and doesn't really know your business, to sending them to this, becoming your lead, and hopefully in the future closing the sale with this onboarding process. So we'll be sharing some of these consultation funnels that we have in practice, so you can convert your leads into clients on your slip as well automatically. So before we jump into the workflow itself, I want to highlight the importance of this initial capture form, because at this point we're using, or you can use any CRM system. We are mostly using this CRM system called Upsado But you will probably see that most of these CRM systems are pretty much the same for all these service businesses. So you pretty much have to do the same kind of setups, and it will work kind of the same way. So this capture form will be really important for the workflow, because this will provide valuable information that will help us along the way with the workflow itself. So if you had custom mapped fields, these little pieces of information that you will be asking in this capture form, and that will be translated into this CRM system in the backend, and having more information about your client without having to go through all the questionnaires that they answered along the way. And it will help you offboard the client in the future. What does that mean? Let's say you're asking in this capture form for the wedding date, right? Or their partner's name. This will help you automate different parts of this automation in the future. For example, with the wedding date, it will help you offboard this client right after this project date, which is the wedding date, and will allow you to send different or trigger different actions after the wedding, such as requesting a testimonial, or just a thank you note that you would like to send, or trigger different actions, or to do tasks manually as well, but just as reminders. So if you have also more than one planner or subcontractors, it would be really useful to ask for the location in this capture form. So this way you can apply different tags for each planner and notify them about these leads coming their way, so they can help you nurture them, contacting them, giving them a call, and letting them know that these leads are coming their way to do something about it. All right, so we'll jump into the proposal template. This is crafting your proposal. So what we would like to do here is basically show what your business is about, why they need to work with you, and what they will be getting from you at the end of the proposal, right? So I would start with a welcome personalized message, just letting them know, hopefully a customized note, or you can also automate this, of course, and just create these little things with this customized fields that will create a little bit more of a personalized feel in your welcome message. Then about us, you can tell them a little bit more about your business, your experience, you yourself, of course, your team members, who's in charge, who will be contacting them in the future once they become a client. Testimonials and as seen in or featured in are really good for you to build this social proof. So we'll give you a better idea of, or they will give them a better idea of the kind of weddings that you've been hosting, what people think about those weddings. If you have any feature articles in wedding magazines, they will provide a little bit more of social proof and allowing them to know a little bit more about you and that you know what you're doing. Then we have, of course, all the packages, all the inclusions that you will add to your proposal. And the next steps would be kind of like the next step of this whole explanation of what's going to happen as soon as this couple approves this proposal. And that will mean different things. For example, the invoice terms that you will have, or the invoice options, payment options that you have. You will probably send them a contract. You probably want to send them a contract. So let them know that a contract is coming their way. And you can also automate in this proposal as well. So you just don't have to create many steps after the sign up. In my opinion, I think it would be probably better to send the contract a little later, or allowing them to sign a little later as well. So they don't have to complete a lot of tasks at the same time and probably overwhelm them a little bit with a lot of this information you will be sending. Letting them know that they will receive an email, the invoice, welcome them also if you're using any other tools that will complement this CRM system, such as IO Planner or websites, whatever you use that might help them with communication, such as Slack or WhatsApp, you're just going to give them all these little details on how to move forward in that welcome message after they complete the proposal. And then the frequently asked questions. You can add these frequently asked questions to the proposal itself, or just basically have a link, a button that will help them, will probably access to your website with those questions that get asked over and over again every time that a proposal is being sent. And we'll avoid all this back and forth of emails before the proposal, and they can get all these questions answered. Of course, they could have any others, but I would try to make these FAQs as complete as possible so they don't have any issues and they don't have any extra questions, and they go straight to completing this proposal. As I mentioned, might be best, or you have two options. You can add in this proposal the invoice, but keep in mind that you can have it here and make it more straightforward, proposal, invoice, contract. But you can also add it to the workflow. So when they complete the proposal, they get triggered the contract, and when they sign the contract, they get triggered the invoice. So they don't have to do everything at one time. I'm going to be sharing here with this presentation an example of the proposal, so you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. So we don't have to go through it here. It's just a simple design proposal that you can see how it might be able to look, what you can do, how to decorate, how to use your branding in this proposal and customize it to your brand. All right, and also I added questionnaires. This is actually really interesting because so this proposal that you'll see in this previous example, it's a really interesting proposal, and it will allow you to automate it, and you don't have to create proposals every time that someone requests for a quote, right? So at this point, this questionnaire or this proposal that we have can be built for, they can build it themselves with all these little services that they want to hire from you. And ultimately, at the end of the proposal, they'll get this pricing, this final pricing with all the services they requested. They can pick and choose. If it gets a little bit over their budget, they could just remove other services right away, so they don't have to wait for you to provide updated proposal. And that will help you avoid this back and forth of proposals, it's back and forth of questions, and it will be probably simple and easier for you. That means that this workflow after they sign the proposal might not be as customizable as possible, because the thing is, you will be hiring and offering different services, and you don't know exactly how many and which services they will be hiring from you at the time the proposal is ready. So we will provide this simple questionnaire in the workflow, which is a new client questionnaire with simple questions such as, what's your fiance's name? What's the preferred method of communication? Maybe Pinterest boards. What do you like? What kind of decoration you like? Do you have any venue already confirmed that you want to use? Maybe your home, or maybe you already have any suppliers that you know that you want to work with. You can ask all these general questions in this new client questionnaire. But if they hire cake services, or they hire the day of services, you will need extra questionnaires that will go along to this ultimate plan for your wedding. So you probably want to attach those questionnaires separately, right? And those will be separate from this new client questionnaire. Oh yeah, okay. This is the idea of what I have as a workflow. Kind of look a little intimidating. I know it's a lot of text going on, but let's have a look at it. So Dubsado and any other CRM systems, they have this kind of hub or folder called Portal that allows them to have all these questionnaires, all the information related to the wedding and with you in one single place. That will include contracts, questionnaires, proposal, subcontracts. If you have any communication, will go to this folder, and we want to activate that for the client. So they don't have to go over all the emails that you've been sending back and forth in order to find the right questionnaire or see what they answered. And this will provide an easy way to streamline all this process. So you will be activating this portal after the deposit is paid. So you don't have to trigger extra steps all at the same time. Excuse me. So we also want to change the status just because we want to keep track of the weddings that are being leads, the one that are being proposals sent, and we might need to follow up in the future, and the ones that are already confirmed, contract signed, and we have to work on already. Then we will be sending the contract after all the actions complete, which is going to be here after the deposit is paid. So all these 3 steps will get triggered after the deposit is paid. Then we'll be creating as well in that step a task to review all the custom proposal that they built and add all the relevant questionnaires to the portal, like we said. It could be cakes, decoration, styling, florist, venue sourcing, any other questionnaires that will be on top of the general new client questionnaire will have to be added manually here. And those will be sent to the portal. So in this 5th step, we'll be sending this new client questionnaire with a welcome message and letting them know that this portal exists, that they can find all the information there. And please do complete all these extra questionnaires that we will be having and that we need to get information from. All right, this will be also after the contract is signed. So we don't have to trigger all these single emails at the same time and just getting 20 emails from you all together. We want to just have an order and allowing them to complete one step before jumping to the next one and keep it a bit more organized. Then if you want to have a meeting, it could be in person, could be online, Zoom call, you can send them an initial appointment to book calendar link after the new client questionnaire is completed. Why? Because you probably need to have that information before the meeting. So it's really important to take advantage of these different triggers, and you can take them from one step to the next one, just letting them know that they have to complete some of the steps in order to be triggered to other steps of this onboarding process. And then we do create a task here just to send them a welcome package if you want to. Of course, you don't have to, but those kind of things, of course, need to be manually, but you can have a reminder in your workflow here so you just don't forget about it. Then it's the planning. So all the manual work will be happening there. Not automated emails will be going, just because you probably need to personalize them as much as you can, depending on what you've been discussing with that couple. And then is when the offboarding process starts. And that offboarding process will be really helpful for you too. So you don't have to manually offboarding as well. So you can send them a thank you note after a couple of days of the project date, which is in Dubsado is called project date, but that project date will be the wedding date. So this is why the wedding date in the initial questionnaire on your website will be so important. Then we like to send this testimonial request every, I would say, after 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully that's the time that they will take for the honeymoon. So you will allow them some time to send thank you notes for their guests and everything else, and then you jump in. So you make sure you get this testimonial, which is going to be really important for your business and marketing efforts. And then we just basically archive the project. We allow them to just offboard this automatically. You don't have to do a lot back and forth manually with you or your planners or your virtual assistant. Or okay, so also what you can add here is nurture emails from time to time that you can add within the workflow, and that will allow you to give them more ideas about the wedding, hopefully, and also trying to upsell them to other services that you might want to might not be related directly to your business, but if you want to advertise someone else's services, taxi drivers, hotels, or something, you can just send it here in this workflow and have a little bit more of engagement with this partnership while they're also get nurtured and get more information from you and they know that you're top of mind. All right, and then we have these other automations that are outside of the CRM system. So you probably know Zapier is an automation tool that connects different apps and services and automate these workflows to streamline these tasks. It helps to or allows two services, different software to talk to each other to automate workflows and systems. So what we have for this example is creating a Slack channel and probably send an automated message saying that this lead is now a confirmed client, just letting them know, let the planners know or your assistant know that this is happening and some other triggers will be coming their way. And this is usually better to trigger after the deposit is paid to make sure that that client is fully confirmed. Also, after this deposit is paid, we create a wedding and island planner, and you can trigger different emails from there. Just could be in your CRM system, as in sending an extra email, letting them know about what IO planner is, what's gonna be for, how to log in, if they need to send extra invitations to a bridesmaid or mom or dad or your sister, you can also send it and just letting them know and trying to engage with them with more information. All right, so I also have, as I said, these funnels that I would like to share with you. And these are just 3 basic funnels that you might be already doing, but I thought we can go through them and hopefully give you some other ideas on how to funnel more leads into your wedding services. And the good thing is that they're automated. So you just set them up and you can track results, but you don't really have to do anything manually, and that will be of great help when you get busy, right? So this is the roadmap number 1. This is one of the ideas. And what we did was basically, since we already mentioned this proposal is build your own proposal, build your own quote, we created this as a public form, as a public quote on your website that you can embed, and letting these couples build their own quotes and then funnel them from there, right? So if they already know what they want, they're happy with the proposal, and they want to learn a little bit more about you, they will have to submit their name and email, and the onboarding workflow will basically start from there, including invoice and contracts, welcome email, and everything that we already discussed. For this, just make sure that you add the date of the wedding in this new questionnaire, because you will need it for the offboarding as well, right? And you won't be able to add a location like in the first initial capture form. So you can basically, as it says that you won't be able to add the location workflow here, but it can be triggered from the new client questionnaire instead. So you can, I think it's still really valuable to ask these questions for future communication with these couples, right? The roadmap number 2, it's a little bit more complex, probably. So what we're doing here is create a consultation lead capture form and build a funnel from there. So we already have a lead capture form on our website embedded, everything is ready to go. When they complete this form, we change the status from lead to to a lead, sorry. We don't have this person in your CRM system, so as soon as we add them, this lead status will get triggered right away. And then we send a proposal questionnaire. This questionnaire is not the same as Bill. It's two different ways to engage with this lead. One is the quote directly, and this was just a capture form with probably some questions that this couple will have for you, right? So we send them this proposal questionnaire so they can build their own quote after the previous actions are complete, which is when they complete this form on your website. Then the good thing about this CRM system as well is that you can trigger actions if these previous steps happened, but you can also trigger actions if these steps didn't happen. And that's really good. Why? Because you can follow up with these clients or these leads. And if they have not completed this initial quote that they have to build, you can send different follow-up emails. Let's say, like in this example, if they haven't completed this proposal questionnaire in 3 days, we send them a follow-up email asking them, or maybe just letting them know, hey, I'm just here. I'm happy to help you. I'm wondering if you have any questions. You can just simply send a really short message there. They will be automated, of course. Then we have after 3 extra days, if they don't complete it, we send a nurture email in general. Do you need some help in your actual day instead? Maybe you can downsell them, or you can give them more information about the wedding industry or the trends, so they can make sure, or you can make sure that you're on top of mind and they still get reminders about you and just, hey, I'm here, have not forgotten. Okay, then if after extra 3 days have not completed this questionnaire, this proposal questionnaire, we will send them a last follow-up email because we don't want to send too many emails either. And the good thing about this is because we asked for this wedding date, so if they have it, we can use and take advantage of the smart fields and populate the actual wedding date in this message and use or say something like, hey, I have another wedding consultation for this same day of your wedding. Are you still interested? So you apply a little bit more of urgency in this marketing effort, and hopefully that will help them, take the lead, basically. If you don't hear anything from them, we just basically archive the project, and we just set another status as lost and just leave them there. You can nurture them in a couple of months again if you want to follow up and see if they still have any questions. But basically you did your follow-up here as well, so you did your job here. And the third roadmap is creating a freebie, and this is usually the most common sales funnel that we have. So you can create this freebie, and usually freebies are this valuable piece of content that will help your audience take the leap or learn a bit more about the services that you're offering, or creating some kind of value for this lead that will, of course, they have to give you their email address in exchange. So you want to provide something really valuable for them. I will provide some ideas later, so don't worry about it. So basically you offer and you provide this freebie. So you have a capture form on your website. Could be a discount, could be different things. We're going to go through them later. And as soon as they complete that form, on the back end of your CRM system, you will be adding this lead status because this person is a new lead for you. So you just add this status to your CRM system and you send this first nurture email. And that first nurture email should be that freebie that you're promising, and probably a welcome message. After 3 days, you will probably send another nurture email to create more valuable content for your audience and help them take that leap, and also learn more about you. That you want them to know that you know what you know. So you have experience, you know what you're doing, you can show social proof. So that's what we want to show on these nurture emails as well. After this second nurture email, we will send them this proposal questionnaire that we've been discussing all this time. They will be able to build their own quote, and this will send after 3 days after the second nurture sequence. And will be kind of repeating the last workflow that we were discussing, the last funnel. So if they haven't completed that proposal questionnaire in 3 days, we want to send them a follow-up. And after 3 days of not completing, we'll be sending this second nurture email and a last follow-up. Just keep in mind that if they actually complete that questionnaire, this workflow will die, cancel themselves, because the other onboarding workflow will be triggered instead. So that's a huge help. This will just kind of stop working and the new workflow will get triggered and the client onboarding workflow will be active then. But if they don't and you send them 3 more follow-up emails, you just basically, like we said, we archive the project and you change the status to lost after all these actions are completed. All right, so this is pretty much all I had to share today. I know it's a lot of information, but you will have access to this presentation. I will send it to you. You also see that there are examples there, so you just feel free to have a look as many times as you need. You'll have access to this presentation and to all these examples. And that's pretty much it. As I said, you can just reach out to me on Instagram or this Wedding Academy email. I'll get back to you if you have any other questions or if you're looking for more inspiration. But here at the end, I created this sales funnel roadmap, and that will help you create more or have more ideas around your sales funnel for your business, more ideas for freebies to emails that will go along, that you have a big and really practical email templates that you can also take and just personalize for your brand and use it as follow-up emails, as nurture emails. So you don't have to work from scratch and you can just take advantage of all the templates that you'll find in that roadmap. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions, as I said, you just email me. Talk to you soon and have a good day.